Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the top 10 scariest situations you could ever find yourself in. We're talking about those heart-pounding, adrenaline-pumping moments that would make even the bravest person sweat. From being stranded in the middle of nowhere to facing down a natural disaster, we're covering it all. We're going to rank these terrifying scenarios and break down exactly why they're so scary. So buckle up, grab some snacks, and get ready for a wild ride, because we're about to jump into the top 10 scariest situations you never want to find yourself in. Chapter 1. Lost in the Woods. Imagine this. The sun's dipping below the horizon, casting long, eerie shadows through the trees. You've been hiking all day, but now you realize you're completely lost. The trail has vanished, and every direction looks the same. Panic sets in as darkness falls. Every rustle and snap makes your heart pound. You check your phone, but there's no signal. You're alone. Just when hope dwindles, you see a faint light flickering in the distance. Relief washes over you, almost bringing you to your knees. Chapter 2. Trapped in an elevator. You step into the elevator, a mundane start to your day. You press the button for your floor, the doors slide shut, and suddenly, everything goes wrong. The lights flicker and die, plunging you into darkness. The elevator jolts to a halt, throwing you off balance, and then silence. You're trapped. Claustrophobia sets in, a suffocating feeling in your chest. The walls seem to close in, the air thick and heavy. You frantically press the call button, but it's dead. You're completely cut off from the outside world. Minutes crawl by, each one feeling like an eternity. Your mind races, imagining all the worst-case scenarios. What if the cables snap? What if no one knows you're here? Fear claws at the edges of your composure. You try to rationalize, to stay calm. You tell yourself someone will notice the elevator is out of service, that help is on the way. Just when you think you can't take it anymore, you hear a faint sound, voices, muffled but getting closer. Relief floods through you, washing away the fear, leaving you weak and trembling. Chapter 3. Face to face with a predator. You're hiking in the wilderness, the sun warm on your face, the air filled with the sounds of nature. But then, you hear it, a low growl, deep and guttural, that sends chills down your spine. Slowly you turn your head and there it is. A wild animal, its eyes locked on you. It could be a mountain lion, its powerful muscles coiled and ready to spring. You know you should back away slowly, avoid making any sudden movements. Then, with a final snort, it turns and melts back into the undergrowth. Chapter 4. Terror in the Skies. You're cruising at 30,000 feet, the world a miniature landscape below. The drone of the engines is a lullaby, the cabin lights dimmed. Then, without warning, the plane shudders. A jolt of turbulence, you think, nothing to worry about. But this is different. The shudder becomes a violent shaking. The plane lurches, dropping hundreds of feet in an instant. Oxygen masks drop from the ceiling, swinging like panicked pendulums. People scream, their voices high-pitched and terrified. The fastened seatbelt sign blares, a crimson warning in the chaotic darkness. You grip the armrests, knuckles white, your stomach churning with each stomach-dropping drop. You try to breathe, but the air is thin, filled with the metallic tang of fear. Outside the window, storm clouds rage, lightning illuminating the plane's trembling wings. The turbulence intensifies, tossing the aircraft around like a toy boat in a hurricane. You close your eyes, desperately clinging to the hope that this is just a bad dream. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the turbulence lessens. Chapter 5. The Sinking Car. You're driving along a winding road, the scenery a blur outside your window. You don't see the sharp turn until it's too late. The car skids on the loose gravel, tires losing their grip on the road. The car careens through the guardrail, plummeting down a steep embankment. You brace for impact, the world a blur of metal and glass. Then silence. That's when you realize you're submerged in water. Cold, dark water is rising rapidly around you, filling the car. You struggle to unbuckle your seatbelt, your fingers fumbling against the clasp. You have to get out, now. You kick at the window, but it won't budge. You search frantically for something, anything, to break the glass. Chapter 6. Home Invasion. You're nestled in the comfort of your own home. Maybe you're reading a book, watching a movie, or just drifting off to sleep. It's your sanctuary, your safe space. But tonight, that sense of security is about to be shattered. You hear it, a noise, faint and distant. A creak on the floorboards, a rattle at the window. You dismiss it at first, attributing it to the house settling or the wind, but deep down, a seed of unease has been planted. The noise comes again, closer this time. Your heart starts to race, a primal instinct warning you of danger. You strain your ears, listening intently. Silence. You tell yourself it was nothing, but you can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. Then you hear it, the unmistakable sound of breaking glass. Adrenaline surges through your veins. Someone is breaking into your home. Terror grips you, icy and paralyzing. The day begins like any other. The sun is shining, birds are singing, and life is good. But somewhere, out there in the vast expanse of nature, a storm is brewing. A force of unimaginable power is about to be unleashed, and you're directly in its path. It could be a hurricane, its winds howling like a banshee, tearing through everything in its path. Or maybe an earthquake, the ground beneath your feet suddenly shifting, sending tremors that ripple through your very core. Or perhaps a tornado, a swirling vortex of destruction, its funnel cloud a harbinger of chaos. The sky darkens, the air thick with tension. The wind picks up, whipping around you, carrying the scent of rain and something else, something ominous. The first drops of rain begin to fall, heavy and insistent. The news reports are a cacophony of warnings, urging people to seek shelter immediately. But for some, it's already too late. Chapter 8. Adrift. Imagine this. The endless expanse of the ocean stretches out before you, a mesmerizing vista of blue that stretches to the horizon. The sun is warm on your skin, the salty air invigorating. You're sailing, miles from shore, lost in the serenity of the moment. Then, it happens. A sudden storm erupts, the sky transforming from azure to an angry, churning mass of charcoal gray. The wind whips into a frenzy, tearing at the sails, heeling the boat over at a terrifying angle. Waves, once gentle swells, transform into towering walls of water that crash over the deck, threatening to swallow you whole. You scramble for safety, clinging to anything that offers a semblance of security. The storm rages on, an unrelenting assault on your senses. The roar of the wind drowns out all other sounds. The driving rain stings your skin like 1,000 needles. The boat, once your sanctuary, is now a fragile shell, tossed about like a toy in the grip of a furious giant. Chapter 9. Inferno. Picture this. You're inside a building, going about your day. The familiar sounds of life surround you, the hum of computers, the murmur of conversations, the clatter of dishes. Then you smell it, a faint, acrid scent that sends a shiver down your spine. Smoke. You look around, your heart pounding in your chest. At first, you see nothing out of place, but then you notice it, a wisp of smoke curling under a door, tendrils of gray reaching out like ghostly fingers. Panic rises in your throat, choking you. Fire. An alarm shrieks, shattering the normalcy of the day. People scramble, their faces a mixture of confusion and fear. The air quickly fills with thick, black smoke, making it hard to breathe, harder to see. You join the throngs rushing towards the exits, the smell of smoke growing stronger, the air hotter with each passing second. But as you reach the stairwell, a wall of flames erupts, blocking your escape. Chapter 10. Helpless witness. You're going about your day, the world a blur of faces and places. Maybe you're walking down a crowded street, riding the subway, or sitting in a park. Life is happening all around you, a symphony of everyday moments. Then it happens. Someone near you collapses. 1 minute they're there, a part of the everyday tapestry, and the next, they're on the ground, their bodies still, their eyes vacant. The symphony stutters, a discordant note in the rhythm of life. Panic ripples through the crowd. People gather, their faces etched with concern and fear. Someone calls for help, their voice high-pitched and frantic. But you feel frozen in place, a helpless witness to a life hanging precariously in the balance. You want to help, to do something, anything. But what? You don't know CPR. You don't have medical training. Outro, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more thrilling content. Let us know in the comments which situation you think is the scariest. Stay safe out there. We've explored some of the most terrifying situations imaginable, from being lost at sea to facing down a natural disaster. These scenarios remind us of the fragility of life, the importance of preparedness, and the raw power of the human spirit. Remember, while we can't always control the situations life throws our way, we can control how we react to them. Stay informed, be prepared, and never give up hope.